What's up, Let It Marinate family? It is your boy Trey Smith, your host of Let It Marinate, and today we are going to talk about what I've learned about having these thick locks, man. Oh, these things, they nice. But without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, real quick, go on and subscribe to the family, man. Join Let It Marinate, and we're going to keep the ball rolling all 2020 and forevermore, you know what I mean? So if you ain't subscribed yet, man, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that like button too, because, you know, the algorithm loves that. And we're going to keep pushing these videos out every Tuesday. So come hang with your boy, and we're going to get it cracking. Okay guys, going into this is not really a pro and con type deal. This is just what I've learned along my way of growing my dreads out and them being a little bit more thicker than your average dread head, you know what I mean? So basically this is my experience and opinion in some matter, you know, some form of matter. This is kind of an opinion too, but more my experience of what I've learned thus far of growing these out. Okay, so far one of the things I've learned growing these dreads out is thick dreads are rare. You don't really see thick dreads just walking around, you know what I mean? I mean, like, most of the time you see like the thin dreads, you know, a whole bunch of dreads, they real thin, you know, thin to medium, you know, I would say small to medium, but you don't really see like the thicker dreads like the Bob Marleys and the Lenny Kravitz, and I know I always use them, but you know, they pretty much are the epitome of thick dreads. I mean, there's other people who have bigger dreads than them, but you know, they're at the, you know, top of the food chain when it comes to the big dreads and, you know, the iconic dreads. So you don't really see that walking around. Like, I know where I live, there's not really dreads walking around that much, but there is, but there isn't. So thick dreads are not something you're gonna see. And since they're so rare, you're gonna get a lot of people turning their heads to see it. Like, I mean, of course, you're a dreadhead just like me, so I'm sure you're gonna have people turning their heads to see you with dreads and stuff like that. But it's getting a little normal now. Like, you're starting to see more people with the thinner dreads, and it's becoming a thing. I guess it's becoming more accepted. It still has that stigma, but it's getting a little bit more accepted into the communities, I guess. But since the thicker dreads are so rare, you're gonna get a lot more heads turning your way when you see like a guy or a girl walking down the street and they just have this big, like, lustrous head of hair, you know, of locks, and they're thick and big, and there's not that many of them. They have like, you know, 10, 20, you know, even less than that. You know, some people have 3. Like, it's rare. It's rare. And if y'all haven't Googled that one man dread, do it. Google one man dread. There's plenty of people now walking around with just one dread sticking out the side of their head. So that's gonna turn anybody's head, trust me. But like I said, guys, like, thick dreads, they're rare, man. I haven't seen them anywhere where I live. I haven't seen thick dreads anywhere. I've seen ton of thin dreads and medium-sized dreads, but like the thicker side, the real thick side like mine, and I know y'all thinking like, your dreads, they're thick, but they're not really, you know, thick like that. But you got to keep in mind, this is just 8 months strong. I've been growing my dreads from waves 8 months strong. So if you can judge it based off of that, you might think, oh, okay, your dreads are a little thick. And I mean, hey, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got. I like being rare. I like being unique. But anyways, moving on. Next thing I've learned about having thicker dreads, and I've heard this a lot, is that it takes them a little bit longer to lengthen, to get long. Now they're growing at any rate that hair grows, especially if you're taking care of your hair. It's growing pretty fast. Like, my hair grew from waves in 8 months, boom. But since they're thicker dreads, they might not seem like 8 months. Your hair should be down here. Keep in mind that I have a high top. It's faded. So my hair is not all the way down close to my ear, or else it will be hanging down lower, of course. But I have the high top. But even still, there's people with high top dreads like me, and they have thinner sets, and their hair looks longer, and they've been growing it for like 8 months like me. That's just one thing that you're gonna have to deal with having thicker dreads. It's gonna take your dreads a little bit longer than the smaller sizes to lengthen, to get down to those jawline and touching your shoulder. It's gonna take a longer time. I'm not gonna say it's gonna take a long time, because this is pretty quick for 8 months from waves, like fresh waves. It's pretty quick that it grew that fast. But yes, that's one thing that I've learned, that it's taken a little bit longer than the average. Since the thicker dreads are rare, I would say the average will be anywhere from medium, less, you know what I'm saying? So yes, it's gonna take it a little bit longer for my hair to grow to the length that everybody else's is. So that's something we have to deal with. But still though, they crush it. Comment down below, tell me if my dreads crush it. I know y'all see the bandana, boom boom, little style. But yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. If you have thick dreads like me, it's gonna take it a little bit longer for them to reach those lengths, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, the next thing that I've learned about having thicker dreads is it takes them a little bit longer to dry. This is not really a con or pro. Like I said, this whole thing is not really con or pro. This is just my experience and what I'm going through at the time. And I'm willing to go through it because I love my hair, I love my dreads. But yes, it takes them a little bit longer to dry once they are wet, because they're thicker. It soaks up a lot of water. They turn into like little sponges or whatever, which could be good, especially if you're using a lot of minerals and stuff when you're washing your hair or, treating your hair. It soaks that all up. So all of that stuff is gonna go in your roots and you'll be good. But I know I said this is not gonna be a con thing, but I guess the con side to that of having dreads that soak up everything and hold it for a long period of time, it can create like build up mold, stuff that just stays in there, lint that you don't see because it's deep in your dreads on the inside, and it don't come out until you get ready to clean your hair and you realize like, oh man, I got stuff all in my hair. It look good right now because it's dry and it look clean. Mine is clean. Don't do me. My dreads are clean. But anyway, it looked dry and clean, you know what I'm saying? And, it looks well kept up, but you don't find out that you have a lot of buildup and stuff like that until you get ready to wash your hair and clean your dreads out. So I guess that's one thing I would say about the thicker dreads, that it's like, but if you can get past that part and you take care of your hair and make sure it dries properly, you good. You good, you know what I'm saying? You can still rock your dreads. They smell good as long as they don't stink. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. Yeah. So make sure you keep your hair dry. Make sure you keep it clean, away from all that lint. Throw on your do-rag. Put on hat, bandana, headband. Which leads me to my next thing. I haven't been able to wear hats like that. Like used to with the waves, I could throw on, the baseball cap or the fitted or whatever, and it fit right and all that stuff. With thicker dreads, that ain't gonna happen. You could probably get away with it with the thinner, medium dreads. You could just slide it over and it'd be straight. You'll be good. You'll be like you never had dreads, you know what I mean? But with the thicker dreads, you might run out of buttons, you know what I'm saying? You might just have to put on your hat and that mug be busted open in the back, you know what I mean? You might run out of the adjustment. It might not adjust that far. As your hair gets bigger, it's gonna be harder to find hats that fit unless you do a toboggan. But even still, with big dreads, a toboggan look weird. It look like you got something going on under there that you trying to hide, or you sneaking somebody in somewhere like a critter or something. But anyway, moving on. Hats are gonna be hard. Hats are gonna be very, very hard. The baseball hats, the dad hats, the fitted hats, all that stuff that you get like your favorite football team, basketball team, all that baseball team, those hats are done for. Now, I done seen people, kind of get away with wearing hats with the thicker dreads. They just like sit it on top of their head. That's not my cup of tea. If that's you, hey, knock yourself out. I've, fell in love with the bandanas. I've been a bandana guy and a headband guy, and I even rock the visors. You can do visors with the thicker dreads. That's actually cool. But the baseball caps and the fitted caps, like I said, it's a no-go, at least for me. That's my opinion. Comment down below. Let me know if you got thick dreads and you rocking the fitteds and all that stuff like that. I want to see pictures of that. I want to see pictures. I'll drop my Instagram down and you can shoot me a DM. And hey, I want to see them pictures. As for me, I'm going to stick to the headbands, bandanas. I like the way it look anyway because it kind of gives that freeform look. You can style it however you want. you know, just like I did. I just pushed it up and dropped one down, and boom, you can even throw a little jewelry piece right there if that's your cup of tea. I got some, you know, sometimes I wear them, but that's a story for another day. But anyway, yeah, like hats, you're gonna have to be cautious. You might have to do some trading in, up your visor game, up your headband game, bandana game, all that stuff like that. But just do you. I'm just giving you my advice. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You can rock your hair however you want to rock it. If you want to put on a baseball cap to the side and just have it hanging off one dread, if that's you, go for it, man. I ain't knocking you, know. I'm just telling you my advice and what I've been going through and what I've learned thus far growing my hair 8 months. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm figuring stuff out and I'm learning as I go. And I'm happy I can bring you guys along with me. So like I said, go on and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And we're going to keep building the family all year long. But hey, it's your boy Trey Smith, your host of Let It Marinate, bringing you love, peace, and prosperity forevermore throughout your life. Don't you forget it. And I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, peace.